Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today I will be updating my Pan Those Eyeshadow Palette series. This will be the third update, so if you've missed any of the ones before, the playlist is linked down below. This is a hybrid project between Pan Those Eyeshadows and Pan That Palette, where I am working through 3 palettes at a time with the ultimate goal of emptying them out. I'm working on a quintet of shades, so 5 shades at a time, and I've got a couple of guidelines for what I'm aiming to do with them. Like I said, I want to empty these palettes, but I also want to be sure that I'm distributing my usage throughout the entire palettes rather than just one shade the whole time. So my goal is, if there is no pan in a shade, my first goal is to hit pan. If I already have pan, then my goal is to empty it. However, if I hit 50 uses on the shade before either of those goals are met, then I allow myself to roll it out. Now, if I feel like I'm pretty close to hitting that goal with the shades, then I may go ahead and just leave it in the project for a little bit longer, but otherwise I will roll that shade out if I want to. So let's go ahead and jump into the update. I will show you what my quintet was last month. The shades going from top to bottom are Known For from the Glambition palette, Isolde 2 from the NARS Atomic Blonde palette, and then Nerfertiti, Angelic, and Twilight from the Huda Beauty Desert Dusk palette. First up is the Glambition palette. So I will show you what the palette was looking like last month. And this is what it's looking like this month. So I did roll Known For in this last month, which is this shade right here. I was working on Seeking before that, and then I hit 50 uses and went ahead and rolled it out because I knew it would take far longer to actually empty it. So I've been working on Known For, and I used it 8 times this last month. I don't feel like you can see too much of a difference with it. I feel like there might be a slight amount of movement right down here, but I didn't use it enough to really show a lot of progress on it. These shades are all pretty firmly pressed, especially I feel like these 2 shimmer shades are pretty slow moving. However, I have been enjoying using this with Isolde 2 and Nerfertiti this last month. Again, I only used it 8 times, but I do intend to focus in on it a little bit more in the coming months. Real fast, I'll go over all the usage within this palette for you. I have used a total of 28 times within the project. And then I'm gonna just tell you Infamous and Seeking at the same time because I use them together. I've used both of them 72 times within this project. I have used the most 10 times. And then Over the Top, I have used a total of 60 times. So I have a lot of usage in this palette overall, and I'm really excited to see how far I can get it because I do think that I will definitely be able to use up these shades this year. And I think I can use up these 2. Hopefully, we'll see. Like I said, I haven't used them very much. My usage on those 2 is on the lower side, but I think as the year progresses, I should be able to see some pretty good movement on them. My next palette is my NARS Atomic Blonde palette. I do have the highlighter in this palette in my project pan, so I don't open this to show you guys in this project just so I don't spoil anything because it's a little bit difficult to show the shadow shades without showing the highlighter shade. So I will just show you the pictures of it as I talk about it, but I will show you what it was looking like this last month. And this is what it's looking like this month. That second shade is Isolde 2, which is the shade that is in my quintet. And I hope you can see, I have a pretty good sized dip forming in there. The shade right next to it, Icon, has a little bit of pan showing, which I talked about last month. I didn't actually hit pan on that. I dropped it a while back and it finally just chipped away over time. So I am able to gauge where I'm at a little bit in Isolde 2 based off of that pan that's showing. And I do think I'm pretty close. I don't know exactly how much usage is left, but I think that I'm getting very close to pan in that, I believe. I did use Isolde 2 15 times this last month, which put me at a total of 41 uses within this project. So I'm only 9 uses away from my threshold with this. And while I'm not positive that I'll hit pan in those 9 uses, I think I'll be pretty close. So just depending on where we're at the end of the month, depending on my usage by the end of the month, I may leave it in just to be sure I hit pan on it. We'll see. I was only wanting to leave these shades in for about 3 months at a time. That was kind of my hope, was to roll through them and just use each one 50 times and move through them pretty quickly this year. But I don't know. We'll see, because I like that I'm getting so close to pan with this one. So it would be really nice to actually have hit pan on one myself rather than just having a little bit chip away. But to go over total usage in this palette, I have used Icon a total of 22 times. I've used the shade Kink, which is on the other side of Zolda 2. I've used that a total of 6 times. And then the final shade, Galapagos, I've only used once because I'm focusing in on Over the Top from the Glambition palette. So that is the update for the Atomic Blonde palette. And then finally, we will get into the Desert Dusk palette. So I will show you what it was looking like last month. And here is what it's looking like this month. So I hope you can see there is a pretty big goal met here. The shades in my quintet are Nerfertiti, Angelic, and Twilight, so it's those shades right there. And I have hit pan in Nerfertiti, which was my first goal. I'm wanting to empty Twilight, but these two I was wanting to hit pan in. So I have hit the first goal for this palette, which means Nerfertiti will be rolling out. I used it 12 times this last month, and that put me at a total of 35 uses within the project. I did hit pan on it on use 33, and then I've just used it a little bit more since. You can see some of it has a decent amount of hard pan on it because I wet my brush after I dip into it, and then I re-dip with the same brush, which is not the best idea, but I really love the way it looks, so I just kind of deal with the hard pan, and it will take a little bit longer to use up as I continue to use it that way. However, I did hit pan, so that shade will be rolling out. The other two shades we are still working on though. I only used Angelic and Twilight 4 times this last month. I was really focusing on hitting pan and Nerfertiti. I knew I was very close, so I just wanted to push on that. So I was using the other shades a little bit more, but it does put me at a total of 16 uses on Angelic and 15 uses on Twilight. So I'm pretty far from the 50 use threshold on both of them. I don't think it'll take me 50 uses to hit pan on Angelic. And then I don't know about Twilight. I haven't been using it as much, so I haven't been seeing as much movement, but I still think you can see a noticeable change in the pan just with the minimal use I've been doing. So maybe if I focus on using them more, we'll see that grow, like we'll see the pan grow a little bit more and we'll see more movement. But I've just not been good about using them because I've been focusing on the other shades. However, this next month, I do want to try to up that usage for myself. So I might set a little goal of using them each 10 times, which I don't know if that's a little too much. We'll kind of see with what I roll in from this palette, what I decide to do, because yeah, I don't know. It just depends. Like if I get a shade that doesn't work with either of those, which I mean, all these shades work pretty well, but like Cashmere would not really do too well with either of those. It just wouldn't blend well. Like if it's another shimmer shade that I get from this palette, then it's going to be a little harder to use it in conjunction. Real quick, I will mention my usage on these shades. I haven't touched them all, but within the project so far, I have used Desert Sand 71 times. I've used Musk once, Eden twice, Amber 3 or 4 times. I'm not sure. I feel like I used it more than 3 times, but I only have 3 marked, so we're gonna go with 3. Oud once, Retrograde twice, and then Turkish Delight once. But I haven't used any of the other shades in this palette so far, so right now it's kind of sitting a little less touched on the other shades. But that is the overall updates on the palettes. So now let's go ahead and roll in the next shade. Now the shades left in Desert Dusk are numbers 9 through 21 in my spreadsheet. So I've just put them 9 through 21 here on Google's random number generator. I hope you guys can see it this time. The first time I rolled in my shades, the screen was way too bright and so you couldn't see anything. And then last time my camera cut out when I was trying to roll the shade in, so you didn't get to see it. So hopefully this time it all works. So we're just gonna roll one number and see what we get. Number 12. All right, so I've got them numbered this way, and number 12 is the shade Blood Moon. I did the normal pan those eyeshadows back in 2019, and I did hit pan on it in that project, so I do have pan in this. I'm gonna be honest, I don't particularly care if I empty this one, so I think I think I'm actually going to set a usage goal on this one for just 25 uses. I like this shade a lot, but it's not a shade I can wear every single day. And I don't want to sit here and just use it 50 times just to use it. I didn't mark it as something that I care to empty. I'm happy to be using it because I do like it. It is a good shade, but I don't want to just sit on this one. So this one, I'm going to change my goal, and I'm just going to do a usage goal on this one of 25. So hopefully it'll only be in the project a couple of months. I also, like I said, I don't really think I can use shimmer shades in conjunction with these two, and I would rather focus on getting these two because I do want to empty those two out. And Blood Moon I like, but it's not, I don't like it enough to totally empty it, and I already have pan on it. So I don't know, maybe we'll play that one a little bit by ear, but for now, the goal with this is just going to be 25 uses. So I'm altering my typical goals a little bit for this shade. But I'm going to go ahead and swatch all these shades and show you what the new quintet is looking like. Okay, so here is the new quintet. We've got Known For, Isolde 2, Blood Moon, Angelic, and Twilight. I mean, these three shades are still working real well together. I feel like Known For and Isolde 2 will work pretty well with Blood Moon. It'll be kind of a fun combo, especially these two. I think those two are going to look real nice together. But yeah, I don't really see these two shades working with Blood Moon at all. However, like I said, I do like the shade Blood Moon. It is a very pretty color. It's super pigmented, really nice. So I do look forward to using it. I just, like I said, I don't really have any interest in emptying it, knowing how long it takes to empty shades. And since I already have pan on it, I don't necessarily want to force myself to use it 50 times. So I think we're just going to stick with 25 uses. I feel pretty good about that. This isn't a very spring looking quintet right now. These two shades are pretty springy, but this is looking real fall, which is fine. I really enjoy these shades. And if you take Blood Moon out, it still is fairly spring-like, but I do think this will be a nice quintet to work with for a little while. It'll probably be a couple of months. I don't know. We might get Isolde 2 out this next month. I'm hopeful that I can hit pan on Isolde 2 this next month. That probably will be my focus, and then using these two 10 times. I think that's how I'm gonna try to, I think that's what I'm gonna try to aim for. I don't know how well that'll work, but we're gonna attempt that. So that is my current goal with this quintet. That is my update for this project. I hope you enjoyed it. I will have pictures of my looks as well as the total updates for all the months in this project for the palettes at the end of the video, so stick around if you would like to see those. I don't have a ton of looks this month, but I do have some, which is more than the previous month. So I will have those at the end if you'd like to see them. And I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.